all the footage that's out from Mars, which basically looks like a freaking desert, is footage from deserted island that's in Canada.
What?
Yeah.
What? First of all, I didn't even know there was an island in Canada.
Yeah, me neither. But I guess there's like this big ass island in Canada that they've been like taking footage of, but now that's what they're saying. Like that's what they're showing us, that's what's Mars.
So would it be like something like this?
Ándale.
Really?
Yeah.
What the heck? So that's what people started speculating. Wait, hold on. Hold up. How is it that, okay, you guys got a freaking news reporter to go into the freaking shuttle where these two astronauts are out in space stuck to do this interview, and then you can't bring them back, but you can send somebody off safe and sound, bring him back,
but not bring the other people back.
Yeah.
That's quite a situation. Sometimes special missions are arranged for specific purposes, like scientific research or media coverage. It might be that the reporter was part of a carefully planned mission with all necessary safety measures in place. On the other hand, getting astronauts back from space can be more complicated due to technical challenges or mission priorities. Each situation is unique, and safety is always a top priority in space missions.
She's like, my tía Trini te quiere decir que ya no está en ese cuerpo, que está en nuestro... Like that, she basically told my tía that my grandma told her to tell her that she was fine, but that she wasn't in that body that was in the casket, that she was in a different body.
Freaking crazy.
And that...
And we are freaking live. Welcome to episode 109. Chelo, welcome back.
Back a la fuerza.
Tell them why you're doing this podcast with me right now. What are you getting?
Because I made a bet with Angel. If you guys see me back, it's because I made it with... No, never mind. I didn't make a bet. I think you had... Before this, you were trying to make me a bet to come back on the podcast. And I said no.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to go to work today, and I didn't go. And today I went on a walk with Angel. He got me food, and then he's like, "Oh, you whenever you want." So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna stay." So
I convinced Chella for her not to go to work, and what else?
I got food.
And what am I gonna get you?
He said anything I wanted from the mall.
Yeah. So probably some shoes, right?
Allegedly. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
So I might get her some shoes or whatever she wants from the mall.
No, you are gonna get me something.
But no. But it's shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Chella's getting some shoes or whatever she wants, and the baby's getting some shoes as well. And I'm getting some new ones. But yeah, that's how I convinced Chella to do this podcast and for her not to go to work. So if you guys appreciate the channel, if you guys want to drop a super chat, you guys are more than welcome to, because that will go towards the funds of Chella. But yeah, welcome back to the podcast. Let me do the intro and we'll get started.
Are you ready? Welcome to Hoy Nomas podcast with Angel Houseman.
Okay, if you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Angel Houseman, and we have
Cello.
Yeah, so today, right now, the moment that we're currently recording is today's Sunday. It's about like 9 o'clock. It's about to be, it's 9:39, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9:39.
That's the right time.
Yeah, I literally just finished doing the live, so I'm wearing the same thing. The live went freaking amazing. I always get a little bit nervous whenever I do lives because I need to prepare, and I did everything like last minute. But thanks to the people that joined the live, it made it super, super just fun, and it was more of a conversation and going back and forth, and I really enjoyed it. And we had a caller. So Cynthia, if you're watching, thank you for calling in. But yeah, so we did a live, and we actually talked a little bit about what I wanted to talk to you about. And we can touch a little bit into it, and then we can just move on to the other topics that I wanted to touch on. So I kind of explained to the live that you kind of surprised me with the cheesecake, right? That you're like, oh, Angel, like I was going to get like some strawberries, but I got your little ass some cheesecake, you know? And I was like, okay, I didn't know what to expect. But when you showed up with it, oh, damn, it looks freaking nice. It looks like very like unique, right? Because they drizzled the chocolate on top, the pistachios, and I tried it. I'm like, man, this thing is freaking delicious. And you tried it and you thought the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, what happened next?
So I was eating because I got my Dubai strawberries, and then I got Angel the cheesecake because he likes cheesecake, and I'm not a fan of cheesecake, so I got him that. And then like we're eating our snack, and then Angel's like literally halfway into the cheesecake, and he's like, "Hold up, like wait a minute," and I'm looking at him, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I thought of what you were gonna say, and then I was just like,
"Wait,
no.
what you think?"
I thought you were gonna say that it was like Costco cheesecake.
Oh, okay, so right away.
Yeah, like as soon as you like, because I saw you like you were into it, but then when you got midway into the cheesecake, I feel like that's when you started getting suspicious.
Yeah.
And then Angel was like, "Hold up," and he's like looking at it, and like he's like lifting stuff, and like he's like moving the little plate around. And I'm like, dude, just eat it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This is Costco cheesecake," and I'm like, no, it's not. And I mean, honestly, I'm not a cheesecake person. If Angel says it's Costco cheesecake, then it's on him. But I don't know if it is or not because I'm not a cheesecake person. So I feel like now you got me thinking about it because you brought it up.
Yeah.
But if I would have just been eating the cheesecake, I wouldn't even have, oh shit.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't even have known.
Right.
Or I wouldn't even have thought about it.
So how'd you figure I was gonna say that it was a Costco cheesecake? Because of why?
I don't know, like just the way you were looking at it, and then you were like, hold on.
Yeah.
And then you were like kind of like examining the cheesecake, like looking at it.
But also because I had told you in the past about
yeah,
this,
you had
right?
told me that. So that's why I was like, oh, here we go. I'm like, dude, just
Yeah.
eat the damn cheesecake. Yeah.
Yeah, because something that I mentioned it on the live as well was that I think in the past Chelo has done like certain pastries, or have you sold anything or no? I know your sister has.
I did when I was in high school, but not like now.
Well, Chelo and her sister wanted to do like selling pastries and things of that sort. And I'm like, dude, you guys shouldn't be spending all this time like doing things from scratch. So you guys should try this idea of, just getting a Costco cheesecake, buying the whole one. They sell them like a whole piece.
Well, how much is it? Like $20, no?
I think like $18 or $20,
You
and then you guys can sell it by the slice and just make your own little stickers, make your own logo, and sell them like in nice little containers. And people will probably not even notice the difference, and it'll be good, right?
Not if it's you.
Yeah, all right. But so that was the conversation in the past, and Chelo kind of like, she listened, but she kind of disregarded. Like, we listen, but we don't tell. How does it go?
Escuchamos, pero no juzgamos.
Yeah. So Chelo kind of disregarded that idea, but now that we literally saw somebody taking that same idea,
Allegedly.
trust me, I'm 99.9% sure it's a Costco cheesecake, and this person is selling Costco cheesecake, putting their logo, their sticker on top of the nice little container, and selling a Costco cheesecake by the slice. And the only difference is that they're adding the melted chocolate and pistachios drizzled on top. Now that you...
And the pistachio cream.
Yeah. Now that you saw this, how do you feel?
Well, I mean, for starters, I don't like cheesecake, so I don't care.
Okay.
But at the beginning, when you brought it up, I was like, first I was like, dude, just eat the damn cheesecake. Like, who cares?
Right.
But then at the same time, I was like, damn, like it's Costco cheesecake. I felt betrayed.
Right. Because I saw that reaction in your face, kind of like you were let down, right?
Yeah. But like at the beginning, I was like, damn, this is so good. And if it would have been me, I would have just ate it all and gone on with my day and be like, damn, that was bomb. Like, I would buy it again. But then when Angel was like, no, that's Costco cheesecake, I was like, wait, hold on. Like, I started second guessing, and I was like, damn, like I felt betrayed.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I don't really care if it's Costco cheesecake or if it's not.
Okay, so I had a caller on the live, and she mentioned the same thing. She said, well, she's making it unique, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can make a customized like jam or customized topping on top, and it makes it her own. So because the question was, is this a scam or not? So her opinion was, or her answer to that was that no, it wasn't a scam because she's making it her own. However, now you're saying this pretty much the same thing, that you don't see it as a scam because she made the pistachio sauce or whatever drizzled on top. But would you buy it again? I know you don't like cheesecake, but would you like recommend it to somebody? Or do you feel it's some type of way?
I mean, honestly, it was good, but I would buy the strawberries again, but I wouldn't buy the cheesecake.
Okay, because the strawberries, what is it that she does? Or this little business does?
It's the viral, like, Dubai chocolate thing that's going on TikTok. Like, I saw her stuff. Like, first, I had seen the Dubai chocolate covered strawberries on TikTok. And I was like, oh, damn, those look good. But that was pretty much it. And then I found this account on Instagram that they sell them, but I think they're, like, in Mission Valley or Fashion Valley. And I was like, I'm not driving that far for, like, a freaking strawberry.
Yeah.
And then I saw other people that we know that was tagging this person. And this person lives like 10, 15 minutes away from us. So I was like, okay, like, I'm just going to buy it off from her to try them. And then I'm going to call it a day. So then that's what I did. And then I was like, okay, I'm not just going to get me something. Like, I need to get little fatty angel over here or something else. Because he's going to be like, no, más te compraste algo para ti, nada para mí. So then when I saw she had a cheesecake, I was like, okay, like, I'm going to get him a cheesecake. But I didn't think, like, that angel was gonna like figure out this whole thing out.
Right. Yeah.
And then
trust me, I felt bad because you felt bad, and it just kind of like, because you were excited for you to try. You were excited to try out this cheesecake, and you were excited for me to try it out, right? But then when I noticed that, it kind of like brought everything down from what I saw in your reaction.
Yeah.
Aside from that too, it's like, I don't think many of us, at least right now as I'm thinking, right, I don't think I would be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to go buy a slice of Costco cheesecake that this girl puts pistachio on top, right? Like, I don't think I would go out of my way to do that. Like, in that case, I'll, like, get a slice of cheesecake and just put, like, my own toppings on top.
Yeah.
Right? And just me knowing that. But at the end of the day, everybody's doing their own hustle. There's people that don't even add any toppings at all.
Okay, hold on. And how would you feel if somebody's like, oh, I'm selling my own cheesecake, but they don't, like, let's say it's just the Costco cheesecake, but they're advertising it as they make it.
Oh, that's way different.
How would you feel about that?
So I wouldn't get mad if somebody's selling Costco cheesecake by the slice, and I know that it's Costco cheesecake. If they're like, hey, vendo I sell cheesecake from Costco by the slice. Oh, like, you know what? I'm craving one, and I only want a slice.
Yeah, I don't want the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's like $3.99 or something. Like, oh, sure, give me one. You know what? I'm gonna have a coffee and I'll have a slice. Cool, but yeah, as long as they're promoting it as a Costco cheesecake, a slice of Costco cheesecake. Rather than like them trying to lie to the people.
Yeah. But then isn't Costco like a wholesale thing that's why they sell things by the bulk for people like to resell?
Yeah.
Because I thought that was like their whole business thing.
But why not promote it as such? Because, okay, how much was the slice?
It was like $10.
$10. I think that's pretty pricey for a slice. That is, you're just adding some toppings on top.
I don't know how much the toppings cost.
Yeah. I mean, it's just melted chocolate, but who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I think a while back we were kind of going over the similar situation that they were selling a michelada. Out at SeaWorld, not SeaWorld.
No, it's not SeaWorld, Seaport Village.
Yeah, Seaport Village, and they were selling this michelada, and it almost looked like, at least the picture they were promoting on their display, it looked like a customized homemade michelada. But when we saw how they were making it, they weren't making it. They were actually literally opening up. They were opening up a can of michelada that you can buy at 7-Eleven and pouring it in a cup and just adding like
the rim
around on the cup. And I think it's a similar thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, everybody's looking out for how to make how to hustle and make some extra income.
Yeah.
So, hey, it is what it is. Me personally, would I go back for this cheesecake? No. it was good because the Costco cheesecake is good. But me personally, out of my way, knowing that, then I wouldn't. I'll rather just buy the cheesecake and add it whatever toppings I want. Yeah, but you can't hate on that because at the end of the day, maybe people want that customized pistachio sauce or whatever they put. Maybe that's the whole thing.
Yeah, because it's chocolate. It's a pistachio sauce, and it's the crumbled pistachios, and then they have something that looks like I forget the name, but it's like some Middle Eastern something else that they mix in it that makes it look like some type of texture, but it's different things.
Yep. All right, so moving on to the next topic that you just kind of mentioned right now, and it caught my attention because I've seen something along those lines with space and all that stuff. So what is it that you just recently saw? Quick reminder, we now have a call-in number where you guys can leave us voice messages, video calls. Let us know a story you would want us to share on the podcast, anything you want. The goal is being able to interact with the people that support the channel. Even if you're looking for love, we will find your true love on Hoy Nomas podcast. Also, for anyone that is interested on creating your own channel, we have our Amazon storefront linked in the description where you can find all the cameras we use, the microphones, the lights, the equipment, where all of our podcasts are recorded to. If you need any help with editing services, we are able to produce your entire podcast, edit your short form content from Instagram Reels, TikToks, etc. You can look at all of our content as reference and we got you covered. And finally, if you want to support the channel, you can leave us a super thanks down below, which will help us tremendously, and we'll make sure to highlight that comment on the upcoming podcast and give you a shout out. Now back to the podcast.
So before, when Angel was doing the live, I was in the house and I was eating, and I was watching a Shane Dawson podcast, and towards the end of the podcast, they were talking about, I guess, how the government, or I don't know if it's NASA, that released footage from Mars. But allegedly, to what they were talking about in his podcast, all the footage that's out from Mars, which basically looks like a freaking desert, is footage from this deserted island that's in Canada.
What?
Yeah.
What? First of all, I didn't even know there was an island in Canada.
Yeah, me neither. But I guess there's like this big ass island in Canada that they've been like taking footage of. But now that's what they're saying. Like that's what they're showing us, that's what's Mars.
What the heck? But they're promoting it as if it were to be
like
Mars.
Yeah, like if they landed on Mars already and they're like freaking recording everything with their little robot thing.
But this is all allegedly, right?
Yeah.
This is all for entertainment purposes. We're not saying any of this is factual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me see if I can pull it up. And what else? So how is it that they found out, or what else did they mention?
I don't remember how they said they found out, but I think they might have looked up the island by its name. And then they were like comparing the footage from the Mars footage from that island and that island's footage.
So would it be like something like this?
Andale.
Really?
Yeah.
What the heck? So this is what they were promoting as Mars? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was something like that.
What the heck? Huh. That's weird. And they're saying that this is in Canada? You don't remember the island in
No, I don't remember the name, but it's a deserted island in Canada.
Let's see if... Hey, what's going on, Hoy Nomas chat? Have you heard by any chance any conspiracies out there that NASA is promoting a deserted island and they're promoting it as being Mars? And any updates or any info on that?
I haven't found credible evidence supporting the conspiracy that NASA is promoting a deserted island as Mars. NASA's Mars missions involve extensive research and public documentation. For example, the Mars Science Laboratory mission, which includes the Curiosity rover, has been active since 2011 and provides detailed data about Mars.
Okay, and by any chance, is there a deserted island in Canada?
Yeah, Canada has a ton of deserted islands, especially in the Arctic and along its vast coastlines. One of the most well-known is Devon Island, which is the largest uninhabited island
I
in the
think that's the
world.
one.
Okay,
It's in the Arctic and is often used by NASA to simulate Mars missions because of its harsh Mars-like conditions. Are you thinking of a specific island for something?
what was the last part that NASA uses that deserted island for? What again?
NASA didn't destroy Devon Island. They use it as a testing ground for Mars exploration because its barren, rocky landscape is similar to what you'd find on Mars. Scientists and astronauts go there to test rovers, spacesuits, and other equipment before sending them to Mars. It's basically a giant outdoor lab for space research.
Gotcha.
Were you thinking of something else?
No. I think that should wrap it up. Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's the whole confusion or misconception that NASA's actually using this location, and people are thinking that they're using those images for actual Mars pictures.
Yeah, that sounds like where the conspiracy comes from. Since Devon Island looks a lot like Mars and NASA does real testing there, some people might think they're faking Mars missions with those images. But NASA is pretty open about their work on the island, and there's tons of actual footage from Mars rovers that show way different landscapes. It's just one of those things that gets twisted online.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. So, all right. So I think that kind of makes sense, right? But who knows? But if they are promoting that being Mars, and then that's why people are speculating.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But okay, aside from that, when you mentioned this, or was there any other fun facts that you kind of heard about that?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So aside from that, when you mentioned that, it caught my attention because just recently I had heard that I think there's 2 astronauts that are lost in space, or they're stuck in space. And they initially, I think they were trying to be up there for about a week or so. And they've been there since last June, I believe. And they're still stuck out there.
So it's going to be a year?
I think so. Let me see if I can pull it up. All right, so pretty much the headline reads something along the lines as NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams have been aboard the International Space Station for approximately 9 months, significantly longer than their initial mission plan. They launched in June 2024 aboard Boeing Starline spacecraft, but due to technical malfunctions with the Starliner, their return has been delayed. NASA citing safety concerns opted to bring them back using SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule. Their return is now anticipated in late March 2025. So yeah, close to a freaking year, dude. Despite public speculation about political factors influencing their extended stay, both Wilmore and Williams have emphasized that the delays are solely due to technical issues and inherent challenges of human spaceflight. They have maintained professional focus on their mission objectives during this period. These astronauts have expressed readiness to return and preparing for their journey back to Earth. Dude, a whole freaking year. That makes no freaking sense. Like, what do you think? They would be like panicking?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Didn't we watch a movie on something about this? That there was a guy that went with Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie.
Didn't he die in the movie or something like that? But
I think so.
They would make him record himself.
Yeah.
To the family, but then when they would show him the recordings, like those recordings that they would show them, it was like old recordings, wasn't it? And he was already dead or something like that.
I think so. I don't remember the actual movie, but I know that he would be talking to this creature. Remember?
Yes, some crazy ass creature. I feel like he was going like crazy.
Dude, I want to watch it again. That movie was pretty good. But yeah, it was this creature.
I can't remember the name.
It was the movie of this creature would give him like enlightenment and will keep him like positive or give him some sort of like advice or something like that. It was pretty interesting though.
Yeah.
But why'd you bring that movie up?
I don't know, because right now that we're talking about that, I was like, dude, there's no way they're gonna leave him out there for freaking 9 months.
Yes. So these are the astronauts right there. Oh shit.
Originally supposed to be a week-long test flight,
Welcome aboard the International Space Station.
has now evolved into a months-long saga in space. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams lifted off for the International Space Station back in June.
And liftoff of Starliner.
But when the Boeing Starliner, making its first crewed mission, had a number of technical issues after docking, from helium leaks to faulty thrusters, their return home was delayed.
NASA has decided that Butch and Sonny will return with Crew 9 next February.
Now, a new galactic speed bump in their return to Earth. NASA saying in a statement Tuesday, NASA's SpaceX Crew 10 now is targeting no earlier than late March 2025.
Freaking late March, dude.
Adding, the change gives NASA and SpaceX teams time to complete processing on a new Dragon spacecraft for the mission. That spacecraft set to arrive at a Florida facility in early January.
Can you think of other examples of astronauts that had a mission of 1 to 2 weeks and that turned into a year or longer?
No, I can't think of one that went from 2 weeks to over a year. They were testing a new vehicle, the Starliner. I think, there was always that possibility that they may end up extending their mission. I think mentally prepared to do whatever was going to be required of them, and they've been doing that.
How frequently is the ISS restocked? How often do you see supplies going up intermittently?
Every few months, there's 2 supply ships that go up from the United States.
Back in November, concerns surfaced about the health and potential weight loss of the astronauts.
I think there's some rumors around outside
So
there.
something that people are like speculating and they find odd about any of this is her hair, right? Like, dude, if you're out in space, if you know that there's supposedly no gravity, why don't you just tie your hair down back? But so one of the speculations is that exactly that when they do these reportings back to the space station or for the news media, they mess up their hair and make it like be standing up to showcase that they're really truly out in space. So
then they're not.
Allegedly, this is all for entertainment purposes, right? But they exaggerate them being out in space.
Okay.
Because if you're out in space, you're tired of your hair freaking being all over the place. You would just want to tie it down, right? You would figure.
Yeah.
Right? But when you see it like in blind eyes and just kind of like for stake, she's out there floating and her hair is up. But if you're out there so freaking like for months, you want to have your hair tied or something.
Yeah.
You would figure at least.
Mm-hmm.
That I losing weight and stuff.
Though they were quickly dismissed by the 2 space veterans.
You can tell I've been working out.
Now the waiting game continues as a new timeline.
And you saw how he saw like happy. Oh, I've been working out. Like, dude, if you're there almost for a year, you're not going to be that happy.
Yeah.
Right?
And he looks the same as when he went up. So.
Yeah.
For their return is set for the new year. What was originally supposed to be a week-long test.
Talk to me.
Okay, so they were saying that they're sending them food supplies every 2 months, but whatever they're sending up there can't bring them back down.
Interesting. Because check this out. They actually got interviewed.
The astronauts who've been stuck in space for over 9 months.
So here, let me see if so right there you can see that they're stuck in space. However, they were able to get a news reporter into the spacecraft.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. So that's what people started speculating. Wait. Hold on. Hold up. How is it that, okay, you guys got a freaking news reporter to go into the freaking shuttle where these 2 astronauts are out in space stuck to do this interview, and then you can't bring them back, but you can send somebody off safe and sound, bring him back,
but not bring the other people back.
Yeah. So right away, what starts running in your mind?
That it's fake. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. This is all for entertainment purposes, but yeah, so that's the speculation right there.
And the woman on the left and the right in the video behind me admitting this week that Biden absolutely refused to allow Elon Musk to go up there and save them last year, which clearly means that it was political. So they've shown that this is true. Of course, Biden couldn't make Elon Musk a hero in the middle of an election year.
And once again, look at her hair, like always up and stuff like that, like, you know, to make everything more dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And so he didn't allow it. And that's why they've been sitting up there so long that this woman's hair is going to grow right to the moon. Today, Trump sent a message to the pair.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah. And let's see what the comments are saying. So the 2 astronauts are stuck. 2 astronauts too. What about the guy with the mic? All I'm gonna say is something is not right with this picture. The reporter is just standing there, if though he's already back on Earth. So I don't know, dude. Just kind of odd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what do you think? You think they're actually up there?
Coming back before long, so you know.
No, dude, that just doesn't make sense. How are they gonna send one person up there? It's like, okay, you can go and come back. And like, they just build like a freaking new shuttle thing for this dude to go up there and come back? And they're not gonna make space for the other 2 to come back?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Like, that shit does not make sense.
Let's ask Nomas chat to see if he can provide any further input. But yeah, all of this doesn't really make sense. But let me see if there is any input.
But then if they were gonna send, okay, let's say they were up there, for real.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think that they were like worst case scenario? What if something happens and they can't bring them back down? Don't you think they would have something else ready to go get them?
You would figure, right?
Yeah.
Like similar to
like a plan B, like something else to bring him back down.
Like anything, like when you have an airplane, maybe you have a parachute, right? Whenever you go on a cruise, there's lifeboats on the side. You would figure at least, but let's see what Oinomas chat has to say about this. Hey, Oinomas chat. So we're currently going over the case of the 2 astronauts that are stuck out in outer space. So quick question. So we just recently saw that there was a reporter that went up there to do some sort of interview, but people are speculating, how is it that they were able to get this news reporter out into their shuttle when technically they can't get these 2 astronauts back, but they can get a news reporter in there safe and sound?
That's an interesting situation. That's quite a situation. Sometimes special missions are arranged for specific purposes, like scientific research or media coverage. It might be that the reporter was part of a carefully planned mission with all necessary safety measures in place. On the other hand, getting astronauts back from space can be more complicated due to technical challenges or mission priorities. Each situation is unique, and safety is always a top priority in space missions.
Yeah, because that brings a lot of speculations, right? That how is it that they're able to bring a news reporter safe and sound to outer space, to the same shuttle where these 2 astronauts are stuck, but then they can't bring them back, and they can bring the news reporter back safe and sound. So it's creating a lot of speculation that whether or not this is actually truthful or not. Once again, this is all for entertainment purposes, this communication.
I understand how that could lead to a lot of speculation. Space missions can be complex, and sometimes information about them is not fully disclosed to the public right away. There could be various reasons for the different handling of situations involving astronauts and reporters. Often, safety protocols and mission objectives determine the decisions made by space agencies. It's natural for people to have questions and concerns, but rest assured, space agencies work diligently to ensure the safety and success of their missions.
What are your thoughts personally? You think it's questionable, or you think it's 100% real?
It's natural to have questions about any unusual situation, especially when it involves space travel. I think it's important to rely on credible sources for information, and to keep in mind that space missions have strict safety protocols. While speculation can be interesting, it's always best to wait for official updates from trusted space agencies. They prioritize safety and transparency as much as possible. So, while it's okay to be curious, it's also good to trust in the expertise of those who manage these missions.
I think they got you already, Nomas chat. I think you used to give more personalized thought process. I think they got you.
I appreciate your feedback. It's always good to have a healthy curiosity and ask questions. In situations like this, I find it helpful to focus on the information provided by experts and official sources. It's definitely natural to wonder about things that seem unusual or puzzling.
Fired in the must chat. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird and odd, right?
Or what if they're not stuck and they're saying that they're stuck, but they're like in another mission, but they're saying that they're stuck.
True. You never know. Maybe they're doing something else, and that's why they don't look as worried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else that's hot and trending as of right now, Chilo, that you can think of?
Dude, no, I haven't even been on TikTok or anything. Like, I've been on social media, but I just feel like I haven't really been on my phone.
Why is that?
You know what? I feel like ever since I went to when I was in the hospital back in December, I feel like those 2 weeks that I was in there, like I was just so out of it that I wasn't really on my phone. And ever since that, I just feel like I do have my phone on me, but I just haven't been on social media how I used to be.
Right. But you're still like listening to podcasts and things like that, right?
Yeah, but it's not like I'm watching the screen. I just like it for background noise.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't been like scrolling on TikTok or made a TikTok in a long time. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just been off from it.
Yeah, I didn't post like for 2 or 3 days, and I felt like I was slacking, almost like, fuck, I haven't posted in 2-3 days, just because I like to post at least once a day, twice, at least during the week. But me not posting it in 2-3 days, I just felt, I personally felt bad. Mm-hmm. But that's just because you know me, social media, it's like my goal, and I really enjoy it, but it's also good to not having to post.
Yeah.
And that's the current mood you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to share?
I don't know what I'm thinking. We were gonna talk about something else, but no, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. How do you feel about daylight savings?
I feel like today I woke up late, but
super late.
Yeah, but I feel like today dragged. For me, I feel like the day felt super long.
Yeah. So there's this other conspiracy out there that at times, when you know how they say that everything in our phones is connected to the Wi-Fi, to like everything updates on its own. There's a conspiracy out there that certain items that they're not connected to Wi-Fi or to the internet, for some reason, those are always backtracked for additional time. So when they say that, so the speculation and the theory here is that the time they're modifying the time, that whether they'll add more time or less time, in reality, when you see these other items that are not connected to the Wi-Fi, they're in a different time frame, like way more hours behind or ahead. So that's one of the theories out there, that who knows if we're currently still in the right timeline that we're being presented to. Because at times, you know how they say, like, oh, like you said, like today freaking dragged, right? It felt long. And then there's other days when you're like, man, time is passing by super fast.
Mm-hmm.
So there goes to show that speculation.
Or are we just jumping on different timelines every day?
True. That's another thing too. And then it gets you thinking, because when you do plant medicine, or when you talk about like the reality of the universe and all these different mysteries, they say that time is non-existent. Mm-hmm. Right? So, but here in the physical realm, we're programmed into this time that's connected through the Wi-Fi, and they can easily, like last night, they changed the time on us, right? I think they added an hour, right? So when we woke up, it was a little bit later now. Who knows if we're like days ahead? similar to the whole thing of the calendar. You know how they say that the calendar
Gregorian calendar.
Is that what it's called? Gregorian?
I think that's what it's called.
That
the OG calendar.
Right.
Yeah.
That it was supposed to be a 13-month calendar.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know the theory behind this, that they reduced it to only 12 months. Freaking crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because everything was supposed to be connected, like with astrology.
Didn't they change the days in the month too?
Not too sure.
I'm not sure about that, but I do remember about the months.
Because when you think about it, right, like each day is connected to something of astrology, like Monday, like moon, right? Tuesday, I'm not too sure what that is, but every day is supposed, like Sunday. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And every day is supposed to be connected to something astrological, and everything was supposed to be in tune with nature and the stars and the universe, but they modified the calendar and the time frame to 12 months for whatever convenience. Yeah, you heard about that, right?
Yeah, you know what? Right now that we're talking about timelines, it was so weird because, and it's probably gonna happen again, because the last time change, I had to, like, every time that it's a time change, I have to automatically change my watch because it won't do it on its own. So last time I did, I was like, okay, like it's probably gonna pop up the same day, but a different, like the old time, right? So then I had to reset everything, and tell me why the first time I tried resetting it jumped to like December 1st of like 2013.
What?
Like it kept giving me the randomest freaking days and years, and none of them was like a current month, day, or year. Everything was like years ago.
What the heck?
I was like, that shit was so trippy, because I was like, why is it doing that? Like, I would think that it would pop today's date or that day's date, but a different time.
But it updated on its own.
No, I was trying to reset it to update it to the, because it was a time change again.
Right.
But then on its own, it kept changing the years.
To 2013?
Yeah, like it was 2013, and then I think it was 2017, and then it changed to 2020. Until I had to go in and get it right to like the year and the date and everything.
That's so weird.
But that was so weird. I was like, why is it doing that?
Yeah. And it then when you mentioned that also, that's what they say, that, you know how a while back, years back, they were talking about that the end of the earth or whatnot. I think it was based on the Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
In 2020, but they're like, oh, you see, nothing happened. Was it 2020?
No, it was 2012.
2012?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2012, everything was supposed to happen. And people are like, well, you see, nothing happened.
I believed it, dude.
But
I was even going to church every fucking weekend.
But really?
Yeah, dude, because I was like, I'm not trying to die.
But the thing is that they say that who knows if that's actually true, because now the calendar's modified.
Yeah.
So you don't know if we're backtracked or ahead of time, that actual date has actually happened or hasn't even gotten here.
Dude, the other day I had seen on TikTok that it said like something about that we were living back in the timeline of 1997, because it was something about like the every 28 years it resets, so everything that was like on right now, it was like 1997, and I was like, dude, that is such a trip.
Oh, something similar along the lines that history repeats itself?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was like history repeats itself, and then they said every 28 years. So right now, if we subtract from 2025, if we take away 28 years, we will go back to 1997.
So the similar events that happened back in the days are going to reoccur again. What?
It's so weird. And I kind of started going down into a rabbit hole, but then I got sleepy, and then I got out of TikTok.
Did they mention any events by any chance? That we've...
Like, there's a bunch of people saying, like, there was a bunch of people, like, commenting on the comments, but I don't remember anything standing out. Like, they were just sharing their own personal stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. So 1987.
Yeah, 1997. So that was, like, the year that I was born.
Okay.
Like, for me.
Okay. So you were reborn again.
For real.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh? Dude, I wonder if I ask Nomas chat, like, any events that happened in 1987, I wonder if any of those are going to resonate. You want me to ask him?
I don't know. Ask him.
Yeah. All right, Hoy Nomas Chat, we're going to try it one more time. Is there any major events that happened in 1987?
1997.
1997. Any major events?
In 1997, several significant events took place. In January, Yasser Arafat returned to Hebron after more than 30 years, marking a significant moment in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In May, Tony Blair became the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, leading the Labour Party to victory. Tragically, in August, Princess Diana died in a car accident in Paris, which was a moment of worldwide mourning. Additionally, in November, the United States government acknowledged the existence of the secret war in Laos during the Vietnam War, dedicating a memorial to honor the veterans.
Okay, thank you, Nomas Chat.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need information, feel free to ask.
Yeah, so nothing that popped up.
Yeah,
that one of Princess Diana was crazy. Yeah, that was a conspiracy within itself. You heard about that, right? That it was allegedly planned out. Did you hear about that or no?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah, so it was allegedly planned out, and because of everything because she wasn't, Princess Diana had a different mindset from all the rest of her family.
Yes.
That she was trying to do good in life. And obviously that's not always the case with the higher ups. So, yeah. You never heard of that?
I remember seeing like a video or something that she would like break because I guess within the family they're like, oh, like you have to dress up this way and like act this way, and like she would break a lot of those rules, but I hadn't heard what you were saying right now.
Yeah. You're tired, huh? I can tell.
Yeah, I'm here a fuerzas. If you guys see me on another podcast, it's because then you keep driving me to come back. But this is my last podcast. Yeah,
you've been saying it for the past 3.
No, this one's for real, my last one. Angel's not getting me again.
Yeah. All right. So, any final words?
No.
Have you had any lucid dreams lately? Vivid dreams? For some reason, I've been dreaming a lot, dude. For the past 2-3 days.
Surprisingly, you remember.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
You have such a bad memory, dude.
That's the thing too. There was one in particular that I think it was. I forgot where I was at, but I think I remember like a coworker was there and I got stabbed. I'm not sure if it was the coworker that stabbed me. I briefly looked it up as soon as I woke up, and it was something along the lines that. Of like being backstabbed and people were not being real, but who knows, because that's all through like Google search. So who knows what dreams actually mean? But yeah, I dreamt that, and there was like 2 other ones that I had dreamed, but I don't really dream, or if I do, I don't really remember them.
I feel like it's just that you don't remember, because I feel like we all dream, but it's just rare.
Yeah. Well, you haven't had any dreams?
I feel like the last one that I can remember that was really like stuck to me was when I told you that I dreamt my grandpa, because I hadn't dreamt him in years. When I told you and what's her name, Joanna.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy, dude. You want to share that one?
Okay, so. This was over a month ago, because that's the same night that my grandma passed away.
No. Oh, shoot.
So the night that my grandma passed away, like, we all kind of like saw it coming, and then she ended up obviously passing away. And when my grandpa, which was that grandma's husband, when he passed away, I was like 3, 4. But it's weird, dude, because I remember I clearly remember like vivid things from my childhood with him, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, like I'm fucking tripping out. But then my cousin that is 9 months younger than me, he tells me like, oh, I remember this when we were kids with my grandpa. So I'm like, okay, dude, like you were younger than me because him and I are 9 months apart. And I'm like, if you remember that, like I can't be tripping.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like I'm not making it up. So when he passed away in 99. So it was like days before my birthday. And from that point till right now, I've probably dreamt him like twice, maybe 3 times. And then the time I saw him in ayahuasca, but that was it. But I remember being a kid, dude, and I'm like, dude, like I really want to dream with my grandpa, and I could never do it. And I'm just like, why?
Yeah. And then in ayahuasca ceremony, you were told that you couldn't have access for him.
Yes.
Because it was going to be a long journey with him.
It was like, they told me like, oh, like whenever you talk to him, it's kind of like, it's going to take you a whole ceremony. It's not just going to be like a chit chat here and then you're done. But, so going back, like all these years, I've never really dreamt him. And then my mom's younger brother that passed away a year after my grandpa, I've dreamt him once in all that time. And I've seen him in ayahuasca once too. So it's like, it's not people that I actually dream with like back to back. So it was weird because the night that my grandma passed away, like when she passed away, I was like, damn, like what if I dream my grandma tonight?
Right.
But it was just a thought and then it went away. And then that night, I went to sleep and I woke up like around 5 or 6 to change the baby. And then I remember around that time I was going to stay up, but I felt tired and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep. So in that lapse of like 6 in the morning to 8, when I went back to sleep, that's when I dreamt with my grandpa. And I remember that in the dream, like I was doing the same thing that we were doing when my grandma had just passed away, because when my grandma passed away, she was at my mom's house, and the bed that she was in the living room. And in real life, when she passed away, they had like a bishop come and pray for my grandma, and the bishop was standing where you were standing, and I was standing next to him. But in the dream, I was on my grandma's feet. Like I was like in the middle of everybody. And in the dream, I remember somebody grabbed my shoulder and they like tapped my shoulder, but then they left their hand in the shoulder. And I remember like I saw the hand and I'm like, I don't recognize this hand. So then I turn around and I see him. And it was weird because in the dream, like I knew I was seeing him and I knew I was talking to him, but in the dream, nobody else could see him.
Oh, what the heck?
Like it was only like if he was communicating with me on the dream, but nobody could see him.
Wow.
So in the dream, like he was saying like, oh, like your grandma's fine. Like, you know, like she went through a lot, but like she's going to be okay now. Like she's in a better place. Da, 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 da. And then I was like, okay. And then in the dream, it's like fast forward. We're in my mom's house again. And that day, like Jaylene, like she was like going from person to person, and she was like, so when like she was like babbling a lot.
Jaylene being our daughter.
Yeah. So then my grandpa was like, oh, like he stands next to me again, and he's kind of like hugging me like from here, from the shoulders, and he's like, oh, like now you're gonna understand like why you had her like right now, like in this time frame. And then after that, like I freaking woke up.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, like there's no way I dreamt him right now. Like I don't know, I just feel like it's so weird because growing up I always wanted to dream him, but I never did. And then all of a sudden my grandma passed away, dude, and I dreamed him that night.
I got the chills with that message. That's the reason why we were given with that blessing of our baby being born in this time frame. And
then when my grandma, it was her, I don't know how to say it in English, but in Spanish they call it a velorio. One of my tias that came from Guadalajara, she has a kid, and her kid is like 6, 7, I don't know, she's little. And she was like being like traviesa, and she was like running around the casket. And then she goes up to one of my tias, and then she's like, tia, mi tía Trini, meaning my grandma, she's like, my tía Trini te quiere decir que ya no está en ese cuerpo, que está en nuestro, like that she basically told my tía that my grandma told her to tell her that she was fine, but that she wasn't in that body that was in the casket. that she was in a different body.
Freaking crazy.
And that she was like, oh, she saw her mom. So my great grandma, which she had passed away, and she saw that little girl's, like her grandpa had just passed away like a couple months too. So I don't think they ever told my grandma that her brother had passed away, but she told her like, oh, I had just like, I'm okay. I'm not in the body that's in the casket anymore. I'm in a different body. And I saw my mom and I saw your grandpa.
Wow.
So she went and my little cousin, if you want to call her that, she went to my tia and she told her that, and we were all like, what the hell is going on right now?
Especially for a little kid to be saying that. That's not normal.
Exactly.
For a kid to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Freaking mind-blowing. It almost... I want to say that that's kind of cool that if things like this do happen, that you reconnect with loved ones. That's almost a good thought to have. At least you have something looking forward to, that at one point you will be able to reunite with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At least that's how I see it. Like, wow, that's a beautiful thing. And that's a beautiful message to hear, that you get to reconnect with those people.
Yeah. Like I've always, this one podcast I heard a long time ago, it said like, oh, the reason why we feel so hurt when somebody passes away, it's because it hurts our ego. And that's why we feel so like down and everything when somebody passes away. But I mean, that person's going to another dimension and like they're gonna do another thing.
Yeah. But do you feel like they're always with us?
I honestly feel like they are.
Yeah. But what if they, let's say, for instance, like, you know how you said that your little cousin mentioned that your grandma's in another body. So her spirit, her soul is in another body. But how can she be in a different body and still be here with us?
Well, what if, I don't know, like what if she went back to her younger years?
Right. Or, you know what, the thing is that going back to the time, there's no time, or all these different timelines are happening
at the same time.
Yeah, simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That would make sense in a sense, right? That maybe she's in that time frame now, but yet again in another timeline, they're still here with us.
Yeah. Have you ever, right now that you're saying that, there was a TikTok that I had seen that they were talking about the like people that do spiritual stuff, they can access your Akashic records.
No, never heard of that. What is that?
I will need to look it up because I don't want to butcher it. But
or a brief.
It's basically like fuck, I can't think of the words right now. Why don't you ask ChatGPT?
Just to explain it just briefly, like, or what's the whole thing with it?
Kind of like going back to it's like I think it might be similar to like a life regression.
Oh, okay.
But like this girl that she was talking about she was saying like you could be here right now, but basically like you can be like you're angel right now, like 36-year-old angel, but in another timeline you're angel again, but you're 5 years old.
What is it called again?
Akashic records.
Akashic?
Akashic or Akashic records, something like that.
Hoy Nomas Chat, can you give us a brief description of what Akashic records is?
A cache key is a unique identifier used to store and retrieve data in a cache. It ensures that the correct data is accessed quickly by linking the data to a specific key. When a request is made for data, the cache key helps locate and retrieve that data from the cache, speeding up.
I think what we're referring to is more spirituality of people living in different timelines. Not sure if we're mentioning the correct term though. Does that ring a bell?
Akashic.
It sounds like you might be referring to the concept of Akashic records.
That's
in spirituality, the Akashic records are believed to be a metaphysical compendium of all universal events, thoughts, words, and actions. They're often described as a cosmic library or database that contains information about every soul and its journey.
Wow.
Many people believe that accessing the Akashic records can provide insight, guidance, and understanding about one's life purpose and spiritual path.
Wow, that's amazing. And how can you access that?
Accessing the Akashic records is often described as a spiritual or intuitive practice. Here are some common approaches. 1. Meditation. Many people use meditation to quiet the mind and connect with the records. 2. Intuitive guidance. Some seek the help of a spiritual guide or reader who is experienced in accessing the records. 3. Journaling. Writing or automatic writing can help some individuals receive insights from the records. 4. Prayer or affirmations. Some use specific prayers or affirmations to set the intention to access the records. Remember, the concept of Akashic records is rooted in spiritual beliefs, and experiences can vary widely among individuals.
Thank you, Nomas chat. That was very informative.
Yeah, I would have never got it.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. If you have any more questions or need information on anything else, feel free to ask.
That's super interesting. I've never
You
heard
had
of
never
that.
heard of that?
Never heard of that.
The girl that I saw the TikTok account on, she was like a spiritual reader. So she does that for people.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, babe?
No, ahora sí, ya.
Yeah. I just want to say, if you guys made it to this part of the podcast, yesterday it was my dad's birthday. Obviously, if you guys don't know, my dad passed away, but yeah, I still think about my dad on a daily basis. Just he was very, very important to me, and just yesterday would have been his birthday, and like you said, you've been able to communicate with him in the past through plant medicine ceremony, and I deep down inside of me, I know that he's still looking over, and I hope I'm making him proud, and hopefully I continue making him proud throughout time, and be as good as a person and man as him. But yeah, so happy birthday, Dad. Thank you for everything you provided in my life, and I know you did the best you could possibly do to raise me, and just thank you for being a good parent, and I'm trying to be a good parent myself. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, till next time. Once again, my name is Angel Houseman. We have Chilo.
What's gonna be the emoji?
Let's put what should we put?
Why don't you put a beer for your dad?
A beer? Okay, let's put some beer. Let's put some
That's
beer.
the only thing I can think of.
It's beer and a rocket ship for the
rocket
NASA.
ship.
Yeah. Cool. Till next time.
Bye.
Hoy no más.